Ask any untrained shooter to sit down and shoot a rifle, and 9 times out of 10, this is how he'll do it. So what's wrong with that? Well, just about everything actually. He's got his shooting position based on bony elbows against bony knees. Absolutely the worst as far as stability goes. Give him a tiny little prod, put a bit of adrenaline through the muscles that are supporting the whole thing, and the position falls apart. What he needs to do is to use his bones instead of his muscles. Here's how he does it. You bring the rifle over the knee. That's the main support. You let it sit on the pad of the arm. The left hand for right-handed shooters doesn't support it at all. You just rest it over the right. The right hand controls the trigger, and the whole structure sits over the knees, shooter leaning slightly forward and promoting stability from a 3-point stance. Weight through the bones into the ground. Now, if I was to put downward pressure on here, a load of it, more than he could handle anyway, the position would still take it without breaking up. There's a variation on this theme that a lot of field target shooters use, and that's when the rifle is still supported on the knee, but it's held with the hand. This is best with a target glove. Again, the system is supported on the knees or slightly lower, but we're not relying on muscle power, we're using the bones. If we change position, the whole thing can be walked round and the target position can be achieved. If you want to lower the rifle, you pull down the front leg. If you want to raise it, you pull it towards you. You don't twist at the torso. There's a great reason for hunters to achieve this position, because if they can get it and use it, it's the finest position to zero your gun from, and everything comes from a good zero, as you know. It's no coincidence that all successful field target shooters use this position or a version of it. And they are successful enough to know that you transfer the principles to the standing and kneeling shots. So let's try that. Again, it's all about support. We don't have as much of it in the kneeling position, but we make use of what we've got. Shorten the support for the rifle on the left hand. Hold it under there. Don't put the elbow back on the knee. We learned about that in the sitting position. Get the rifle into the shoulder. Now, here's where you find out whether you want to hit the target or you want to keep your trousers clean. If you put the beanbag under your knee, it will keep your knee clean, but it won't support the stance. What you do is you pull it back, you put your knee in the dirt, and you let the beanbag support the instep. Far more comfortable, far more efficient. You just up the laundry bills a bit. Okay, now look down the scope. Again, a target glove would help. You adjust the position on the front foot and fire from there. You will have to fine-tune it yourself because each person's body shape is different. But again, the principles are the same. The point of balance of the rifle is just forward of the trigger guard, going through the knee into the ground via the shortest prop possible, your forearm. Okay? Now, when it comes to standing position, well, support really is at a premium, but we can still make use of what there is. Same thing. Here's the hunting stance. Forward, arms, muscles, not really very efficient. We go for more of a target principle for field target shooting. Support the arm into the hip, stick the hip forward, let most of the weight go through the rifle, into the hip, into the ground. The back foot is for stability only. Okay, so apply that. The less strain you have on the supporting arm here, the more control you'll have over the trigger. Again, you will fine-tune it to your own requirements, but it's remembering principles rather than copying this particular stance. Bones, not muscle. Stability, not point and pull. This is an air gun, not a shotgun.